Hello, art people. We are going to start working on our project for our Llama lesson. So before we get started, let's review our objectives. So by the end of this lesson, for art, you're going to be able to classify artwork based on different what for preferences. Does anyone know? You just say it out loud if you know. Okay, the answer is reasons for preference. So that I can blank pictures into different reasons I like them. What do you think is under the dragonfly? Organize. I'll know I've got it when I've sorted pictures of the blank into sections based on my preferences. The answer is blankets. That's right. So you're going to have different pictures of blankets, and you're going to get to sort them into different reasons why you like them. So that's going to be really fun. So start thinking about different blanket designs that you might like, just like the blanket we're going to make on our Llama. What kind of Llama blankets would you like? What do they look like? Why do you like them? Start thinking about that for our lesson. For reading objectives, you're learning that you can demonstrate that you understand how to write with standard English, including when to use blank. Commas. So that I can list out the instances in which we use blank in the standard English language. Commas. I'll know I've got it when my blank is thinking about the correct instances in which to use a comma in writing English. Llama. Okay. Good. So let's go ahead and get started with the art part of our lesson. So what you'll need is a nice thick piece of paper or something like that and a pencil. So grab your pencil, and the first thing we're going to do is draw a llama. Alright, so whenever we draw an animal or a person, first thing we do is we start with the head. So we're going to draw a very light circle over here to decide where you want the head. Okay? Okay. Now the next thing we're going to do is decide where we want the body to be and how big we want the body to be. So this is going to be for a llama, we're going to just use a simple oval shape. So leave some room for a neck. We're going to be drawing a neck like about 1 or 2 fingers down, and then we can go ahead and draw our oval for how big you want your llama to be. That's the next step. So whenever we draw a person or animal, we start with the head and then we do the torso area. So in this case it's like the back and the belly and the chest area. That's the torso area. Then we can connect these with a neck. So if you want to go to the side or the edge of your circle here and draw a line going from it down to the base of your oval like this, that's for the neck. And then also on the other side like this for the neck. Okay? So the next thing that we draw when we draw animals or people are, well, we're going to do the legs. So for my legs, I'm just going to go to the kind of top, like the front, the left side of my oval, and I'm just going to draw like letter U shapes. One at the front, and then of course one at the back. Like that. Okay, and then next thing that we do is we're going to draw a tail. So it's like a sideways U, kind of coming off the back there. And the next thing is the ears. So kind of like oval type shapes up at the top. Like that. And you can kind of bring those lines together and flatten the top of the head. So the next step in drawing things is we start out with these basic shapes, right? And then we're going to take these shapes and make them more specific to whatever we're drawing. So in this case, a llama. So, for instance, we take this oval and we're going to make the back a little bit more flat. Like that. Also, maybe my belly's a little more flat. Maybe a slight curve, but not as much as my oval. But the oval and the circle, those are called sketch lines, and those really help us decide where to put everything. So I'm pretty happy with the shape of my llama, and now what we do is we erase the sketch line. So that first circle line and that oval line, we can get rid of those now. So grab a eraser, and we don't need this oval anymore, and we don't need this circle anymore, because that was just to help us figure out where we wanted the llama on our page and how big we wanted it to be and such. Okay, there we go. So, that. So we have our llama shape. So now we're going to draw, so the contour line means the outside line. That's the contour line. Okay, so that's a good art vocab word there. And then we are now going to draw some details on the inside to make it look more like a llama. So the first thing we can draw is a circle, maybe about 1.5 fingers down. And this is for the muzzle. So that's kind of the next thing we do in animals, is we draw the snout or the muzzle, or like where the mouth and the nose are. And then we can draw eyes. Okay. Then in our muzzle we can draw a little V for the nose. And then a line down for that space in between the nose and the mouth. And then we can do a smile like this, like a W-shaped smile. And you can give your llama a tongue if you want, or teeth if you want, whatever you want. And then another thing that we do is we add the inside of the ears. So we just do another upside down U shape inside of those ears. Okay. And then the next thing that we're going to do is draw some details in him. So we're just going to draw maybe some lines like this to show his texture. So texture is the way something feels. That's one of our elements of art. And the elements of art are, of course, just the ingredients, all the things we put together to make our art. So our texture, this is how we can make like a furry texture. You could also, if you wanted, like do like curly, have like a curly texture like that. Or you could do wavy texture. I'm doing like a straight wool texture there. And then the next thing you can do is, if you want to give your llama a necklace, you can draw a curved line like this, and then a curved line back. Or of course, however you want the necklace to be. It could be a few different straps, or just one strap. And then for his necklace, we could draw little like pom-pom type balls coming down from it. If you want, you could just decorate that however you want. I think I'll do little scallops on the top. When I put these little tiny rainbow lines together, they're called scallops. Okay. Okay, so there we go. We have drawn our llama. Okay, so now what we're going to do, well, I'll give you a second to just finish that up. I'll drink some of my water. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut out our llama. So go ahead and grab your scissors and cut him out. Almost done. And what we do with our scraps of paper in this classroom is we work together with the other kids at our table to make one pile. So we can just put this pile in the middle of the table, and everybody at your table is going to stack them on top. So you're going to keep one stack of paper scraps for each table. Okay. Okay, now the next step is we're going to do a little snip. This is called a snip. Look, I'm just using the top of my scissors. I'm going to snip just the top of your scissors. And you're going to do 2, 3, 4. 4 snips. Like that. So they're super teeny weensy tiny. And then what you're going to do, I'll let you do your little snips, and then I'll tell you what we're doing next. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is you're going to take your pencil, and you're going to draw a line really lightly going up from each of those little snips. Because that is where, then it will show you where to do the snips on the other side, because we kind of want them to be across from each other. So then you can do snips on this side. Snip, 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 and snip. Okay. Here we go. So we got snips on the top and snips on the bottom. Alright, let's do that. Now the next thing you're going to do, there is going to be a red box in the middle of your table, and inside this box there are 4 balls of yarn, and there should be 1 in each little bag. Sometimes they fall out. It's okay. But it goes like this. So this is what it looks like. So when you clean up today, you'll know what it's supposed to look like. 4 balls of yarn. And they should be the same color as well, so there's no need to fight over the balls of yarn. Each table has the same color balls. So you go ahead and get yourself a little Ziploc bag of yarn. And then go ahead and open up your little bag. We don't want to lose these little bags, so put them, right next to you. Get your ball of yarn out. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you're going to, it's almost like if you guys floss your teeth, we're going to kind of pretend like this is floss and these are teeth, these little snips. So we're just going to stick this piece of yarn, make sure you have a tail with it, so not just like a little tiny bit, but a big tail like this, extra. The extra is the tail. And then you're going to put it in the first snip at the top. Like I said, you just kind of pretend like it's a tooth and you put it right between there. And that's why we made this snip, so it's had somewhere to go. Okay? And then you take the yarn, not this extra back here, the extra is just going to hang there. This is called the working yarn. Oh, I might have been off camera when I did that, so I'm going to do it again. So you take your string, and you put it in between in the first snip there. So that holds it secure, and that's why we made the snips. Okay, so then you go down, straight down, which it's nice because you have a little line there, and you just put that in there, little snip. You can have it a little bit loose, but not super loose, but like that. And then you're going to wrap it around. So see, I went to the back here, I'm like wrapping it around. So I went down the line, put it in the snip, bring it from the back, and then I go to the next little snip up here and stick it in there. Okay, and then down the line again, another snip, bring it up, the top snip, bring it back down, And one more time. Like that. Okay? And then, we like this tail back here. We need to make a tail down here. So it's going to be about like the size of a finger. And you'll cut like that. And then take your ball of yarn and put it back in the bag. Zip up your bag and put it back in the red box in the middle of the table. And it's like that. And then what we can do is we can just try this. And then we can just tape it. I don't have my tape on me, but we're just going to tape it down like this, about right there. Will probably be good. Okay? We don't even really need to tie it. So if you can't tie it, that's okay. You just need to tape down both of the sides there so it doesn't flap. But there you go. That's the first step of making our llama. Thanks for watching.